Yo, what's good? It's Skano. White America, y'all are the masters of gaslighting. You are. And it's a skill that's been honed and evolved over time. Ever since they got to this continent, they've been gaslighting. Like they portray Native Americans as savages. They needed to be eradicated. In the pursuit of freedom and democracy and all that. Same thing with FBAs. Criminalistic, violent by nature. We have to be suppressed, monitored. But the fact of the matter is, throughout the course of history, it has been white America as the savages. But in light of, and I said it was going to be extensive fallout, from this political assassination. You know, I would like to know, what the hell does this have to do with FBAs? So from what I understand, there have been a number of threats made against HBCUs by right-wingers, extremists, white nationalists, the usual suspects. Because FBAs, we at the source of every problem that plagues America. Let them tell it. You know what I'm saying? What the hell does what happened in Denver have to do with FBAs? It was not a black shooter up there. I don't know if y'all been keeping up. The usual suspect. But, as I said, white America, being the master manipulators and gaslighters that they are, somehow or another we get dragged into this. It's our fault. Because we commit all the crime, all the mass shootings. But, nah, we're not gonna be your scapegoats. You know what the problem is? As more and more info comes out about Charlie, his support base is seeing what everybody else is seeing. They don't like the reflection. When you hold the mirror up to them and they are forced to look at their own reflection, they don't want to face the truth. They rather hate the people that are holding the mirrors, Because it's always the messenger, you know what I'm saying? They get capped out. Never mind the message, but they don't like to look into that mirror, man, because they know, you can feed into all the delusional conspiracies with replacement theory. There's still more white people in this country than anyone else. They still hold a majority of the wealth, the political power. How is this FBA's issue? Oh, we got to deal with it, though. That's for damn sure. No. It's a white American issue. Let's be real, man. What's going on as far as this civil war, if that's what you want to call it? This is American culture. I mean, I don't know if this has always been. People say violence is not the answer. Let's be real, man. Violence has always been the answer. How do you think civilizations got built off violence? And let's be real. White America in the last few centuries have been in the forefront. In the forefront. So you're reaping what you sow. This dude, as I said before, man, they call him a champion of free speech. And that's coded language for basically saying, yeah, It's okay to push hateful rhetoric in this country because, we freedom of speech and all. But like I said, it comes with a cost, man. So, wasn't killed by no black man. He wasn't killed by a minority or immigrant. He was killed by a white man. So once again, I ask, what does this have to do with FBAs? So they talk about criminality, but y'all have an accountability issue. And like I said, this lay at y'all feet because y'all have breeded and perpetuated the current toxic atmosphere of dissension, disruption, and you always have. So no, this is not a FBA issue. It's a white American cultural issue. So, once again, don't hate those that are holding the mirror. Have some accountability for once, because like I said, we won't be your scapegoats. Hatred breeds hatred. So is there any, surprise at what the current climate is in this country? America always stood for oppression and bigotry, and violence. How do you think that they gained control of most of the free world? It wasn't just the economic system that came after the fact. It was violence. So you reap what you sow. So for the last time, I ask you, it's got to do with FBAs. Look in the mirror. No ops left, Scano.